And I'm Sammy.
We're here with Puppers Corner. You can catch us on iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher. PuppersCornerPodcast.com. We're here talking about service animals in hospitals today. I thought that was a really cool topic because you don't see it very often. I think it'd be awesome if you had a little furry animal you could pet when you go in the hospital. Because if you think about hospitals, they're kind of depressing, and because first off, you're sick when you're in a hospital, and then you're sitting in a hospital bed all day waiting on doctors and nurses to come check and poke and prod on you.
Yep.
Just kind of perk you up a little bit to get to love on a little puppy, wouldn't it?
Yeah, we actually know someone who has their dog trained who takes it to the hospital.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
They trained it and then they take it to the hospital?
Yeah. So she did just all this puppy training, and then she did some extra training, and she gets to take her dog to the hospital now to just play with the sick people.
Oh, that's really cool.
And it's like a little terrier dog.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so and so if you think about it, of course, if you're sick, it just goes hand in hand with depression. I mean, you just kind of get down, and there's studies out there that dogs can lower your tendency for depression.
That makes sense to me.
So, yeah. And we just last time we talked about happiness in dogs, that you're just happier when you own dogs. So it makes sense that you would also be happier if you were around dogs. And so I'm on board with that, and I'd like to see more of it. I don't go into hospitals very often, but I have personally never seen a service dog in the hospital. So
I've never seen one in the hospital.
So and I've kind of been. We have Jackson. He's a black lab, and I was thinking not necessarily a hospital setting, but old folk homes, and that's not the politically correct term to say.
Nursing home.
Nursing home. Thank you. So if you think about it, if I was 90 years old and I had to be in a nursing home, and I've lived my entire life, and I've had dogs my entire life, and now I can't be around dogs.
That's sad. I
would want someone to bring a dog in just so I could love on it.
Yeah.
For an afternoon or something. So me and Jackson are gonna check. I'm gonna check into seeing what I have to do to train it, because he just doesn't meet a person he doesn't like, and his little tail wags every time he gets to meet somebody new. He doesn't. There's no strangers with Jackson.
No, he's a sweetheart.
Now our other dog, rip your arm off if he didn't like you. She didn't like you, but he's like, oh my gosh, he's a big teddy bear and cuddly. It's super nice, and always you can tell a dog smiling. Yeah, he's always smiling. So
he's so happy.
Yeah, and at home he lets our 6-year-old daughter is like a major wallower. You know what a wallower is? Just wants to get all up out in your business and just be wallow all over you. Yes,
and stuff. Yeah,
and so all the other dogs are just get away from me. And he just lays there and lets her basically just wrestle him and lay on top of him while he's sleeping.
That's awesome.
He just lays there and just his tail will bounce up and down, wag up every so often.
He just likes it. That's
So
awesome.
I'm checking into what I need to do to train him. If he needs any training, I'm assuming.
I think they have some kind of
certification process for that, and then I'm gonna, because we always like to give back to our community, and I thought that'd be a way to tie in something I love. I would love to train him. That's another topic probably for another podcast, is why don't people train their dogs more? I get a lot of enjoyment out of training them, because when they do something that you want them to do and then they see you get happy, they get so happy, and that that feeds off of each other. People think it's boring, or
you guys are growing together.
Yeah, exactly.
Just if you were to have a baby, you get excited over their every little achievement, but people don't see dogs as their babies we do. So.
Yeah. Why is that? Something wrong with them. No, I'm joking. But so we're going to check into that and see what we need to do for training, and start going to retirement communities and nursing homes, and just hopefully bring some happiness to people that, honestly, those places are kind of depressing.
They are super depressing.
Yeah, so We want to change that. So I'm going to check into that. I will keep you updated on that process. So maybe more of you out there that have a dog that's super cute and super fun, take them to a
and friendly
retirement community. So that's anything else on that topic? I thought that was cool. Topic to do. Go over.
I feel like Daisy would not like that 'cause she doesn't like a lot of people.
Yeah, she's a different personality and type of dog.
Yeah.
She's a one-person dog or two family.
She's a unit dog because like she loves like us, our like immediate unit, and then like she loves like her grandparents and her cousins.
People she's around more.
But yeah, no, any stranger, she's like, eh.
She's hit or miss on me. I mean, she likes me sometimes, and then other times she's like, I know you, and I know what you're going to do to me.
Because
I adjust her,
Yeah, he is her chiropractor, everybody.
So, yeah, it was, I have an interesting relationship with Daisy.
Yeah, you sure do.
Okay, so the next topic is, I ran across this, and I thought, this is ridiculous, but I'll let you get your opinion on it.
Okay.
So I found that there's a website where you can review movies and tell if you want to watch it based on if any animals die in the movie. Have you heard of that?
No, that sounds weird, but at the same time, every time you watch a movie and you get attached to the dog and it dies, that is really sad.
So, like, pretty much Marley and Me, you know ahead of time what's going to happen, right? Have you seen that movie?
I have seen that movie.
Okay. Did
you
bawl?
A long time ago. It was a long time ago, probably.
Yeah, you probably did. The dog dies at the end, so.
Probably.
Yeah. So it's, the story is like, it's a lab, I think.
Yeah.
And they get it as a puppy, and it's like super rambunctious, tears everything up. He hates it, wants to kill it, basically. He's really mad at it all the time. And it gets him into all kinds of trouble, like at dog parks and stuff, and tears stuff up all the time, and like rips the couch apart. He's like, and then at the end, like when it gets cancer or whatever and is going to die, he's like, realizes he's all those experiences that were fun when he's looking back on them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, that's sad.
I haven't seen the whole movie, but that it goes through that. So like on the website, it has Marley and Me on there. But like you can. So any dogs, cats, or horses that die in the movie, it'll tell you, and so you can avoid those movies. Have you? So, like, I remember as a kid, some of the movies I watched that involved dogs that ended sadly.
Like my dog Skip.
I haven't seen that one.
I think he dies. I know it was a long time ago.
So, like, the two that I can think of that really impacted me were Old Yeller.
Yeah. And
Where the Red Fern Grows.
Oh, that one's so sad because that one dog gets so sad. Yeah.
But the story itself is so good. That's just part of the emotional process you go through, and I think it kind of primes you as a kid. Like you're going to get a puppy, and eventually it's going to die. Yeah. So that kind of helps that process, I think. So I wouldn't. You
can't avoid emotions. You got to be realistic about life. So why go out of your way to see if? And also, spoiler alert. Let's say you decide to watch it. I mean, you already know the dog's going to die.
Right. Yeah, so
the whole time you're like, is he going to die now? Is he going to die now? You know?
Yeah. So I just kind of thought it was kind of silly. So I thought we would just get your opinion on that.
Yeah, I think it's crazy.
So anyway, we both are no-go on knowing if any animals die in movies.
Yeah.
So it's like movies you wouldn't that aren't necessarily even involve dogs. The dogs or the cats or whatever aren't the main part of the story, but they tell you if you die. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense.
No, that's weird. It could be a really great movie.
Yeah, right. And then
you never saw it because the cat might die or the cat dies. And it's like, okay.
So it's like you're insulating your emotions a little too much.
Yeah. I think it's very important to feel.
Yes, for sure.
And to walk through those feelings.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, we're on the same page there then.
Cool.
All right. Man, we're a lot alike. Something's up. Oh, I saw a commercial at the dentist the other day. So we're taking the kids to the dentist. And it's a pediatric dentist, so they have cartoons and stuff on. So there's a Barbie doll that has a puppy that you walk.
Yeah.
And it poops and it pees. And it comes with the little poop shovel and rake,
That's awesome.
Yeah, so
that's hilarious.
I'm like, seriously, some of this stuff. So
I remember growing up, the baby doll that you could get that you could feed it and it would poop was kind of a huge deal. So
there's the Barbie walk and potty pup.
That is hilarious.
So it poops those little nuggets out, and then you have the little scooper. Can you see it, or is it too small on the screen?
No, I see it. That's hilarious. That's something Angel would like.
Oh, yeah. She would be all over that.
Yeah,
but she won't pick up the poop in the backyard. But
well, because that's real.
Yeah, it's stinky. Right?
That's hilarious.
But today is our
poop
weekly. Day. And with 4 dogs, you can imagine. We probably need to do it twice a week. But we just let it pile up and then.
Literally pile.
As the summer comes along, we're going to have to probably do it every other day just because we get out there and play frisbee or catch or whatever. So
yeah,
you don't want to be stepping in poo all the time.
Yeah, that's not a good time.
No, not fun. So yeah, but I'm the one that ends up
scooping it
up, and we want to teach our kids responsibility, and that's part of it is picking it up when you own a dog. But if it starts piling up, I'm like, I got to pick it up because I don't want to step in this. Because it gets so bad. I mean, literally almost every other step you take, you're stepping in.
You got 4 dogs,
yes.
And they're not tiny dogs.
No, they're not.
I saw this thing. It was a parenting thing. So it's you have the kids pick up all the poop in the yard, and when they say they're done, because 9 times out of 10 they're going to come up to you and they're not done. You say okay, and you blindfold them and have them run barefoot in the yard.
Where was that at?
I don't know. I saw it somewhere, and I was like, that is a parenting win.
Yes.
Because they're not going to run barefoot in that yard blindfolded if there's dog poop everywhere. Yeah. So they'll clean it really good.
Yeah. So you make them do that?
Yeah, you make them do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so the walk and potty pup. So I want to give a shout out for like raw bones. Do you ever use raw bones?
I have not.
Okay, you got to. Because it's like I guess it's like a really super treat for them because, our dogs would love to be in wherever we're at. So if we're outside, they want to be outside. If we're inside, they want to come inside.
Yeah, they just like that.
And then they sit there and scratch at the door constantly. And we're like, can we have 5 minutes without any dogs? Okay, come on. We are super dog people, but every once in a while you want just me time, right?
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
So anyway, we have a guy, a farmer in our area that, he basically processes his own beef. So he has these, they saw the bones and all that. So you can buy either the knuckle bones or the long bones that they cut up. And oh my goodness, the dogs had a ball. So normally, if you come inside, they'll go out and do their business, maybe check on the neighbor dogs and bark at them for a little bit, and then they're ready to come back in. They stayed outside all day Saturday, gnawing on their bones.
That's awesome.
They didn't scratch at the door once. They didn't bark because we got a scratcher, we got a barker. So one will sit there and bark incessantly till it annoys you to no end, and you let him in.
Is that Jackson?
That's Jackson, yes. And he hasn't got his deep bark yet, so every once in a while, because he's not quite 2 yet, he's got a deep bark, but then every once in a while it'll squeak.
Aww.
Like a teenager that's
so
voice
cute,
changing.
Yeah.
And then of course Molly will try to tear the door down to get back in.
Yeah.
So anyway, they stayed outside all day. It was amazing.
That's incredible.
So they have, because the ones that they have I guess they're the leg bones, has bone marrow in there, and they're about 6 inches long, so that they want to get that marrow out because I guess it's really tasty. So they'll sit there and try to get that. I guess with their tongue or something.
And these are raw bones, right?
Yeah, raw. Yeah. You don't want to have cooked bones like from a steak or something because they will splinter and they will
tear up their intestines.
Cut their either their intestines or their throats, or it'll splinter too much. I guess with the raw bones, it just kind of flakes off as they chew on it because it's a really good source of calcium too.
Oh, that's cool.
Because as I was reading books about the homemade food, one of the things that is deficient in homemade food is calcium. So you have to supplement with calcium if you don't give them raw bones. And it said if you give them a raw bone every so often, that that
you don't have to worry
they get
about
their
it.
calcium. Yeah,
That's kind of
so that's
cool.
another added benefit. So local butchers will have these bones, or like any farmer that sells to the public their own beef will have them bones too. So look in your area for that. If you're in the Tulsa area, I'll send you in the show notes. You'll have some links to where I get mine,
which is Greenwood Farms.
Yes, but if he only has a few, I get him first dibs on them. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. But yeah, so I have them every 2 weeks. Give me 5 bones. So
okay,
yeah. So when they first get them, they still have some of the meat on them, and nastiness on them. So
they are outside bones.
Yes, they are outside bones. Now, once they've worked on them a while, they look like those ones you get at the store, the bones you get at the store, and then you can have them. And once they've got all the gunk out of the middle of them, you can have them bring them in.
Okay. Do they still want them? Like, will they finish them completely or no?
Not if you give them a new one.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, every once in a while they'll go out and wherever they put them in the yard, go get them. And then I'll mess with their minds and I'll pick them up and move them somewhere else.
That's so mean.
But I would highly recommend finding some place where you can get some raw bones, because it's like if I'd equate it to a kid, it's like getting a candy bar or something. I don't know.
Like a babysitter.
Yes, or like a plopping them in front of a TV. That's kind of
bad.
what it is for the dog. But yeah, so like I said, they like to be around us like constantly, and they were out there all day.
Oh my goodness!
Like at least 6 hours working on those bones.
That's impressive.
So I highly recommend it. And you're gonna try. I'm gonna get you some so you can try with Daisy.
Yeah,
because she likes to be around you too, like
all the time.
Yeah,
she will not go outside. Like she will hold her bladder all day if like it's cold outside, and let's say you don't want to go outside.
Yeah.
If she knows that she's just going to go out to potty and come back, she like won't go. And so you got to like pretend like you're going to, and then hurry and shut the door. And then she'll scratch, and then you just don't go, and then she'll go potty and take her time, and then she'll come back.
Okay. But yeah, so we're in the same boat there.
Yeah.
It's because we're so awesome and they love us.
They just want to be around us because we are so awesome.
Okay, so that's all I had. Anything else?
Oh, share the thing about how letting your dog smell.
Oh,
go on a walk.
Okay,
That's
so
pretty
I
cool.
read an article from Dr. Becker was the one that I read this from, that when you walk your dog, you want that obviously for exercise, but also it helps stimulate their brains if you let them smell around a lot. So I know it's kind of annoying because they get to smell around and don't get anywhere very fast, but that helps develop their brain, and it's good for them and makes them happy.
That's pretty cool.
So it's not just...
It's mental stimulation.
Yeah, mental stimulation. There you go.
Which they need just as much as physical stimulation, especially
Yes.
if you have an overactive dog.
Yes, for sure. So, so if you have a dog that's driving you nuts, let them go sniff around a little bit. Mm-hmm. Not just in your yard, but like on an actual walk.
Like where maybe someone else peed.
And I also read that, and I'm not the greatest about this, just because we have our little route, that you want to change up your walking route ever so often. Because, they get bored, too, with the same old walk.
Well, I even read, this is not about dogs, but like people. Like, you're supposed to change up your drive to work every now and then and stuff like that because it's good for your brain.
Yes.
So it makes sense.
Yep. So definitely. And like in her article, she said take them on an exercise walk and a sniffing walk separately. I'm like, I can't do that. I will run for a little bit and then we'll... a portion of the time let them do the sniff around, let them kind of direct where we're going. But it's difficult with me because sometimes I'm walking 3 dogs at once.
Yeah.
And then sometimes they don't want to go in the same direction.
Yeah, especially if they're all sniffing, they're smelling for different things.
But the beagles are funny because I would say about when we're not running, when we're just kind of going slow so they can sniff, they're not looking forward. Their nose is on the ground. And they're not even looking where they're going. They're just following their nose.
Oh, that's so cute.
It is. It's super fun.
Oh, my goodness.
And then I think they can smell like a rabbit or something. Because every so often they'll start pulling really hard. And I don't see anything, obviously. But I'm sure they got a scent of something, and they're wanting to chase it. Oh, the other day, they actually saw a rabbit.
Did they?
They went ballistic. The beagles went
Were they
absolutely ballistic. Yes.
Oh.
So much so that the person's house we were walking by come out and says, "Everything okay?" They thought the dogs were in a fight or something. I go, "No, they saw a cat or something and they're going a little crazy."
Oh.
But they were, oh my gosh. It took a while to get them to calm down after seeing the rabbit.
Well, they got all fired up.
Oh man. And I can't run fast enough to keep up with them. So they're at the end of their leash, just running as fast as they can towards this rabbit. Attached to 3 dogs, I know if I'm not careful, I could get really hurt. So
Yeah. So you
I have to be careful.
Yeah.
I have to pull them back and get them calmed down. But I would love to be at the dog park and somehow a rabbit get in there and let them chase it. But or maybe I'll take them to my uncle's place. He has like 6, maybe 400 and some acres there. And there's some woods out there.
Set them free.
Set them free. See what happens.
Yeah.
There's rabbits out there, so we might do that this summer.
That'd be fun. They would like that.
Oh yeah, they would. All right, I'm good. If you are, anything else?
Not that I can think of.
Okay, we'll see you next time.
All right, bye.
Take care.